back to New York sports. They all suck. We talked about this last week when I posed the question, you guys, who do we root for?
Right.
And I half jokingly, but also sincerely was like, fuck it, let's root for the New York Liberty, which is the WNBA team.
Right.
Even they lost today. They lost in game 1 of the semis.
You said they were winning.
Yeah. I know they're in the semis for WNBA, which is cool. They're in the last 4 teams, and they lost to the Connecticut Sun, which is sadly my hometown team. That's the closest professional sports team to where I grew up, because I grew up in the East End of Connecticut.
The Connecticut Sun,
the WNBA Connecticut Sun, baby, and so that's who beat the New York Liberty today.
So there's the Phoenix Suns. And there's the Connecticut Sun.
No, it's the Phoenix Mercury, I think, in the WNBA.
No, but I know in the NBA it's the Phoenix Suns, and in the WNBA it's
Sun. Yeah, they don't want to pay for the S. It was too expensive in the WNBA to get the extra letter.
The whole fun of Suns is that if you turn it upside down, it looks like the same word. If you look at their logo, they designed it.
It's not upside down. Just be Nuss. Hold on.
Nuss.
Ooh, no, Uns, right?
Right, the Uns.
The Connecticut Uns. Yeah, that's how that
So
goes.
they lost all graphical achievement by going by the Sun, and it's just a ripoff of the Phoenix Suns.
I don't think it's a ripoff. I think the reason why they play that.
New York sports is in a bad place. So when we talk about WNBA teams for about 5 minutes,
So
the Connecticut Suns. Am I right? Like, let's talk about that.
Well, the reason why they're called that is because they play inside the arena at Mohegan Sun. That's where you go. You
like
can
the Red Bull,
lose your life savings, and then they'll comp you a WNBA ticket afterward to make you feel better.
Oh,
I would actually go see a WNBA team.
Fuck yeah, I would. I'm down. I'll go.
I mean, at this point, like I've given up on like so much of. I've given up on the Mets. I've given up on the Jets. Yeah, I'll go to a New York Liberty game.
Well,
they're in the playoffs. If you want to go, you want to go to the Garden this week.
I may actually be down. Yeah,
I'll go. Listen, if we were an all WNBA podcast, we'd corner the market. 3 guys talking WNBA. We'd have the biggest podcast in the country.
No, it would be considered cultural appropriation. Okay, if I did that. But anyway, moving along. So the Jets suck.
It's poor women.
The Sun beat the Liberty. The Mets lost again. Oh, the Yankees. We'll talk about the Yankees. They got mathematically eliminated as of about 5 hours ago. They're officially out of it. Yeah, we did it. The season is mercifully coming to an end. But I don't really have a whole lot to elaborate on, other than I almost went to the game today. My girlfriend and I almost went, but we didn't. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't travel all the way to the Bronx from Brooklyn to go watch them lose in the rain. That made my day better, knowing that I didn't support the team.
It's such a joke because they're doing their own internal kind of investigation as to why they suck, and it comes down to they're relying on idiots with sabermetrics and Cashman. And that's it. You have to use the eye test at some point in sports. At some point, you have to get off the spreadsheets and the little calculators and the little Harvard nerds and whatever. And you have to go to sports minds. We lost Brian.
Brian again.
He blacked out like it's a Friday
the Yankees anyway.
Yeah. It's like a Friday blackout.
Jonah Hill can't save this team. Okay.
Yeah.
The nerds can't do that right now. And keep going.
I was going to say you're right. The only reason that the Yankees became a success is because Steinbrenner got suspended, and that prevented them from getting rid of their prospects, which he loved to trade away, and then Gene Michael, a former Yankee player who became their GM, cultivated the team, and then Cashman came in and took all the credit.
I wanted to think. I thought it was because Mariah Carey was banging Derek Jeter back then, and I
think that's why she had better music. Actually, I think it goes the other way around. Misogynist. Canceled.
She was shacking up with a winner. Yeah, there we go. Got some misogynistic jokes in the show. We're trying to get Brian back in here. Oh well.
We're trying to. Speaking of misogynists, we're trying to get Brian.
I think you're right. You said a minute ago it's because of Cashman. I am one of the people who's been actively on the hashtag Fire Cashman bandwagon for a while, and the reason why is because the team is essentially Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole, and a bunch of quadruple A players or guys who are older than I am. I'm 37, and just can't play anymore. The whole team, it's either has-beens, guys who didn't quite make it, and then there's 2 stars there. And with a small nod to guys like Holmes and Torres and them, the team just in terms of roster construction was garbage. And then you look at some of the teams that are in the playoffs. And by the way, as a teaser for next week, I'm going to do a fun thing where I do a Yankees fan. Who do we root for this postseason sort of thing? I'm going to do a little countdown. That'll be next week though, once the seeds are actually in.
We'll be waiting.
A team like Atlanta.
Yeah.
In terms of roster construction, that is one of the best constructed rosters I've ever seen.
I wish the Yankees had Acuna. Acuna's like one of my favorite non-Yankees.
Every single position, including their setup men. The players in that team all range from above average to superstar. There's players in that whole team. It's a really good team.
Who's the guy in Atlanta? Who's the guy in Atlanta who's like it's got the big home run numbers going on right now?
Acuna.
Who the Yankees could have traded for, by the way, and then they chose not to. They chose to re-sign Rizzo and do a combination of Bowers and Rizzo. And no disrespect to Rizzo because he was playing hurt most of the year, and they
didn't even know.
or they knew and they didn't give a shit.